Every year on the 8th of March, across the world, we celebrate International Women's Day. It's a day highlighting the achievements of women and continuing the journey for equality. In Manchester, groups are celebrating in many different ways, and for one group, they have some rather iconic faces. Meet Lady Pedal Manchester, a cycling community aiming to encourage women from all walks of life to cycle. Established in 2016, they gather together often to complete group bike rides. But in honor of International Women's Day, some of the ladies dressed up as their favorite historical women. We caught up with them to see what they had to say about International Women's Day and cycling.
Only a third of cyclists are women in the UK, so we've got lots of things going on, and Lady Pedal in particular do a lot to try and encourage more women into cycling and get women to love cycling as much as we do.
Cycling was very much part of the women's movement, and today I think that cycling could play a big role in helping to make it more inclusive for women as well.
It's great fun, but it's also very practical, it's cheap, it's a great way of getting around, but also that there's lots of organisations doing the same. So Sustrans have been supporting us on this, and British Cycling, where they launched a 1 in a million women cycling campaign that's all about celebrating how important women's cycling is.
I would like to see women's rights go so that everyone has a chance to do what they would like to do and to be able to ride a bike wherever they'd like to go.
We just want more women on bikes and loving it as much as we do.
After speaking to Lady Pedal Manchester, we looked into what role the bicycle played in the progression of women's rights. Speaking to Dr. Craig Horner, a historian with extensive knowledge of cycling, he confirmed that the bicycle had a definite purpose in women's history.
Cycling had a huge impact on the feminist movement. If you go back to the 19th century and you look at the place of women in society, it was a really patriarchal society. You had the idea of women needing to be chaperoned if ever they went out in public. As soon as the bicycle came along, this was completely overturned, because for the first time women they had the freedom to travel wherever they wanted to, and it was really difficult to chaperone them.
With 2/3 of cyclists in the UK being men, women are proving to less likely be on the roads despite the significance of cycling in their history. Cycling has played a big part in the growth of women's rights, but there is still a long road ahead to reach equality between the sexes. In the words of Lady Pedal Manchester, we just want more women on bikes. Happy International Women's Day, Divine Vika, the Northern Quota.